Yo, guess who got invited to Vegas to go to the Keith Thurman versus Fundora fight next Saturday, March 28th, live in Las Vegas? Mr. Terrible Joe himself. But before we jump into that, live from the diaper room, your boy JYD checking in. We are on our journey to 7K subs, so please and thank you to all who have subscribed. We are a little bit past 6.2K, so thank y'all all. Please hit the subscribe button and that notification button to know every single time that we post on this page. Let's get into it. Now, guess who got the invitation to come on out to Vegas next weekend, y'all, to go ahead and do some coverage and interviewing and interacting and ask questions and get some content and all of the cool stuff, man. Mr. Terrible Joe himself. And first and foremost, man, always thank Allah for all the opportunities that he's blessed me with. Thank you to PBC and their entire team for allowing me the opportunity to come on out and work with one another so that we may be able to get some dope content as well. Thank you to everyone who supports my page, everyone who supports the community that we have here. If it's not any of y'all, there is no me. So thank y'all so much. We've built this page up brick by brick, not just here, but also Instagram, TikTok, and working on Facebook too as well. But man, I appreciate y'all so much. So if you are not subscribed to this channel right now, you might want to do so, because next week we're going to have some crazy interviews and crazy content that's going to be exclusive to the YouTube channel. So let's get that. But man, Keith Thurman versus Fundora. We got Keith one-time Thurman versus the Towering Inferno Sebastian Fundora. I mean, I think this fight has all of the recipes for an absolute barn burner, because although Fundora is tall, man, he is someone who loves to fight in the inside. He loves those uppercuts and them hooks. Bop, bop. He loves to throw those combinations. He loves to fight in the inside and make it nasty. I've seen a time or two he tried to use his length to his advantage, but he prefers to be in the inside. Keith Thurman can box, but also if it comes down to banging, he gonna do that too, because that's how he got the name one time. You know what I mean? He'll punch your lights out in a heartbeat. If Keith Thurman, if Fundora can make the ring small, and apply that pressure, it can absolutely go his way. And if Keith Thurman could put on some beautiful dancing shoes and, use his experience and his IQ to go on ahead and, make some circles around Fundora and not let it be a close fight, a close inside fight until he's ready for it to be a close inside fight, then it can absolutely go Keith Thurman's way. But before we get any deeper into that, we also do have to talk about the undercard. So the Frank Sanchez fight fell out. I believe he was supposed to fight Richard Torres. And Frank Sanchez suffered an injury, so therefore he was replaced, and he was replaced with, I do believe, the Yoenis Talise versus Brian Mendoza fight. And, Brian Mendoza is absolutely coming to fight for 110%. Brian Mendoza is coming to fight. And Talise is also coming to fight. Talise is going to come forward. He's going to bring that pressure. And he's going to try to hurt Brian Mendoza. But guess what? Brian Mendoza is going to do the exact same thing. So I think that is a great co-main event fight. Who am I leaning toward with that fight? I really don't know, man, because if Brian Mendoza shows up, and we know from past experiences, he can absolutely get that one shot off, so that's also an absolute fact right there. But Talise is also the younger guy. He's being moved pretty well as well, so it could absolutely go his way too. I guess if you are looking at it on paper, technically though, it's supposed to go Talise's way. So we'll see what that looks like. I can't wait to see that fight too, because I do think that's going to be a very exciting co-main event. And if it doesn't end in a stoppage, I still think it's going to be a really, really rough fight. Also, we have Yoeli Hernandez versus Terrell Goucher. This fight right here can be really, really interesting, because Yoeli Hernandez absolutely is, running running a train wreck right now, and he's definitely putting in work in the division for 110%. Um, Terrell Goucher. Terrell Goucher has that experience. He can box. He had no problem with sitting down with you too if need be. He'll put some hands on you as well. So it's not like Yohan Lee is gonna be able to be in there and do whatever it is that he wants to do. I don't really see that. At least not so much in the beginning. I think that the youth can absolutely play a factor in this fight, though. I think the youth can play a factor in this fight, and I think a little bit down the line, Terrell Goucher might tire out a bit, and then it can go Yohan Lee's way. But we'll just have to check it out and see. I think that's going to be an interesting fight. But don't sleep on Terrell Goucher, because I think if Terrell Goucher really gets up for this fight, and I have no reason to believe that he won't get up for this fight can 110%, go a whole nother way. And if he so chooses to, and he can decide to say, hey, I'm going to put on a boxing lesson, he can absolutely do that as well, because he has that experience and that in-ring knowledge as well. So, this is a good little style matchup that we got here. Like I said, I'm not sure the betting odds, but I'm almost certain that Yohan Lee would be a favorite in this fight, and I understand why. I would maybe lean toward him as well too, but again, that's no knock on Terrell Goucher, because he's a hell of a fighter as well too. So I think this is actually a really good fight for Yohan Lee Hernandez as well too. This is a fight where as though he can say like, hey, boom, I beat Terrell Goucher. He's a great name in the division. He's a great name. He's a big name in the division as well. And this shows where I'm at in my career. And for Terrell Goucher, it's a joint where it say, no, this ain't that. I don't care what the odds say. I don't care what nobody say. I'm here and I mean it, and I'm here to stay. So whether I gotta box him or I gotta put my hands on him, this is gonna go my way. So don't sleep on Terrell Goucher neither, baby. So I think this will be an interesting fight. I would lean toward Yohan Lee, but anything can happen. So that's my take on that fight. And then we have Elijah Garcia versus Kevin Newman II. So I'm not super familiar with Kevin Newman. Won't lie about that. I am familiar with Elijah Garcia. He's a good fighter. And he only has one loss, and from there I believe he's won out. He had a few fights after that, from my knowledge, if I'm not mistaken, and he's won out as well. Elijah Garcia is also a puncher too. You know what I mean? So there's that. Again, I don't know the most about Kevin Newman II. So if anybody does know about that, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Hopefully it is a good fight. Again, excuse my ignorance, but before I get on camera and lie to y'all about anything, I'll just simply say I don't know. And it is what it is. And like I said, back to the main event, which is Fundora versus Keith Thurman. Man, Keith Thurman isn't the most active fighter in the world. It's been a little minute since I've seen Fundora in the ring as well, but Keith Thurman isn't the most active. He's also on the wrong side of the numbers game when we're talking about age, some would say. But Keith Thurman doesn't believe that he's on the wrong side of the numbers game. Keith Thurman always believes that Keith Thurman is going to win the fight, because when one time comes, one time means what he says, and one time's going to do what he says. And that's how Keith Thurman talks about himself all the time. So yeah, but I firmly do believe that Keith Thurman still does have that one-time punch power if he catches you in the right spot. But man, oh man, am I here to tell you, this is not going to be an easy night for either fighter. I just don't believe it. Unless the age shows up and, Fundora just says, man, listen, I'm going to walk through this guy. Unless that happens, I don't see this being an easy night. I am going to lean towards Sebastian Fundora, but this is going to be, if Fundora pulls this off, I think this is going to be a great name to have under his notch, to have under another notch on his belt, to have under his resume. So I look forward to this, man. I really do. It's a treat, and you know, like I said, thank you so much to PBC and y'all team, because I'll be in the building to be able to witness it live. Also get some interviews with the fighters if I may. Also interact with these guys, get some content and all of that stuff for PBC and the YouTube page as well. So like I said, man, I appreciate everybody who supports the page, everybody who supports the community. Without you guys, there is no me. There is no JYD_world. There is no us. There is no community. So thank y'all so much for putting me in a position to be able to be recognized and noticed by these platforms and these promotion companies to come out and represent their platform. And if I'm ever on board to represent anyone's platform, I treat it as if it's my platform, and I treat my platform with the utmost care, dignity, and respect. And I do the same thing for anyone else's who sees it fit to work with me. So again, thank y'all, all of y'all, for for the opportunity. Hit that subscribe button, y'all, and hit that notification bell, because there's going to be some major content coming to the page within the next week, and you don't want to miss it. Inshallah, you don't want to miss it. So thank y'all so much. Love is love. Signing out live from the diaper room. It's your boy JYD. Until next time, beautiful John. Peace.